Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to the Tetsudo Mokei Podcast as part of the J Network. I'm your host, Kennedy, and how is everyone doing today? As you can see here, just looking at this video, it's that time again where students from all over Japan, work together as a team and pretty much work to become the top diorama, railway model and diorama competitors or schools and blah, 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 blah. Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to the Tetsudo Mokei Podcast Edition, and this is episode 42. And we are getting close to the big competition for 2023, and this is where people compete in making the best mini diorama. These are actually schools that compete, and in Tokyo it'll be August 4th through the 6th. Fukuoka will be August 12th through the 13th. So it's going to be really awesome. I think it's going to be, every time I look at the level, the high level of competition, it's just impressive. And one thing I do hope is that they bring back the YouTube shows and do the interviews, because I like listening and learning about the creative's perspective and what drove students to do this. And also I enjoy it also because in these model rail competitions, yes, a lot of the Tetsudo Mokei fans are usually male, but you see a lot of female, especially in these competitions. So I like that. So the it says here that the T-Track diorama show, which is open to individuals, junior high school students, and the mini diorama circus, which welcomes elementary school students and other diorama beginners, will continue to be held at both events. But I think that's for 2022. But for 2023, I think what we're going to see here is I'm hoping that they do a YouTube channel on this. And if you need more information on it, you can visit Morocco. That's MORACO.jp. And again, I'm really pumped to see what kind of competition we'll see coming from the various competitors, because every year that I think the first episode of our Tetsudo Mokei podcast, we actually went into it. We discussed the various competitors and the competitions, and let's see here. Do they have? Just to show you. Here's just from 2019 right here. As you can see here, it's just really impressive. So look at these. They're just awesome. I really love it. And also coming up in August is the International Model Train Convention Executive Committee, which will hold the 22nd International Model Train Convention, which will last from August 18th through the 20th, and it will be held at Tokyo Big Sight. So that's pretty huge. Tokyo Big Sight, where a lot of the major anime manga events, such as Comic and also Anime Japan, are held. So that's going to be pretty big, and it's going to last from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I think that's pretty awesome. Admission fee is 3-day tickets, only 3,000 yen, so that's actually pretty cheap. 1-day ticket is 1,200 yen. Adults, let's see here. Same day ticket will be 1,500 for adults and 1,200 yen for junior high and high school students. There will be model railroad exhibitions by modelers and companies, stage events, various contests, and photo contests, electro locomotive, and so much more. There will also be railroad model competitions, and this is pretty awesome. So this is coming up again, August 18th through the 20th, and will be held in Tokyo. Okay, so this is an interesting article here. And this one is called the Top 15 Ranking of Model Trains and Engage Return Rates for the Furusato Nozei Tax. So that makes you wonder, what is this Furusato Nozei tax? Well, Furusato Nozei is a donation system in Japan which allows taxpayers to donate a portion of their taxes to a local government of their choice. In return, the local government often provides products as a token of appreciation. So here they're wondering, right here they're asking people, what you can donate. And right now, the biggest recommendation here is the number one. Let me get to that real quick. So this is the Engage, and this is the EF64 type electric locomotive set. Donation amount is about 50,000 yen, so 500, about 475 bucks. It'll go to the Tsurugashima Saitama Prefecture. So let's check out number two. This one is for the Engage, the superconducting linear L0 series JR Tokai. This one is a big one, 250,000 yen. And this one goes to the Hikinan City, Aichi Prefecture. That's a pretty big donation amount. This one is about $24.75 US dollars. So 2,475. Next one is the Railway Future Exhibition, the Engage Linear Superconducting Linear L0 series. You can donate 30,000 yen, so about 275 US dollars. Fourth one is the 227 series Red Wing Exhibition set running the future of Hiroshima, which is 50,000 yen, about 475. Next one is the Nozomi first issue 300 series Shinkansen, about 150,000 donation amount, so about 1,000, about 1475 or so. Next one, and that's US dollars, by the way. Number 6 is the Engage 225 series. This one is about 70,000 yen. Goes to the Tsurugashima City, Saitama Prefecture. 7th is the EF210 freight train track set. About 70,000 yen, which goes to the Tsurugashima City, Saitama Prefecture. Next one is for 50,000 yen. This is for the overlooking Matsushima, the Series 205 Senseki line exhibition set. At 9th is for 50,000 yen, about 475 US dollars, and modeled the Warabi City's preserved car C11304. And the next one is in Gunma, for Aneka City, Gunma Prefecture. Donation of 11,000, which is about $100, to the nostalgic car repair. You get a nostalgic car repair shop, Engage size. The next one is the diorama layout double track, 370,000 yen, going to the Minamino village, Nagano Prefecture. So that's about $3,500 right there. 13, you got the Patoden, but that's just for a donation amount of 20,000 yen, about $175, to the Tsurugashima Saitama Prefecture. 14 is the Nankai 2000 series Nankai Akazona train 4-car set. This is a donation amount of 59,000, 500, about $575 right there. You got the E235 series Yamanote line track set, 50,000 yen. This goes to the Tsurugashima City, Saitama Prefecture, so about 475. So those are the top 15. And the first one, of course, is the one that you get the best return rate. That is the EF64. Let me go back there. Right here. So you get a return rate of 48%. So we're gonna, let's see here. Let's learn more about this. So Furusato Noze is a program that lets taxpayers prepay a pre-portion of their taxes by donating to various cities through donations. This system was first introduced in 2008 to help revitalize regions with declining populations struggling with lack of tax revenue. By donating to a city, town, or village of your choice, the area can use the funds for public services or disaster relief. In exchange, you receive a gift worth 30% of your paid donation and a reduced tax bill in the upcoming year. Aha! That's pretty cool. If you want to participate in the Furusato Noze program, you should know that there's a limit to how much you can donate. The limit is determined based on your income and family structure. There's also a 2,000 yen non-deductible yearly fee to participate. But hey, anything to pay less taxes, I think, is a major benefit. It is tax deductible, so you can deduct donation amounts exceeding 2,000 yen from your taxes. So if you contribute 30,000 yen to Furusato Noze, 28,000 will be deducted from your income and residency tax the following year. So, yeah, I guess donations, pretty much almost an equal amount. So, again, you spend something like 2,000 yen, which is about what, $17 or so, US. And if you contribute 30,000 to, or if you put in like $300 or $275, you get to, just at least take a little bit out from those donations. So I think that's a major plus. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. It's almost no difference when people here in the United States, they purchase a car, usually it's their businesses, but here they allow people to do it. But with businesses, you can purchase a car or a computer, and pretty much do it to offset taxes. But yeah, you don't have to be self-employed. So I think this is a pretty cool thing that they offer in Japan. And yeah, major plus right there. Okay, so it looks like TOMIX made some major announcements, and this one's from September 23 to January 24th. So I think that's pretty interesting. January release right here. On the top left, let's start with that, the green and white. That's the 1850, the Shinkansen Relay. Trying to read here more about it, but my eyes are so bad, and the text is a little too small. My goodness, my glasses. Where's my glasses at? Anyway, yeah, I think this is pretty cool for those who are nostalgic about the 1815 series. You get 6 cars for about 28,050 yen. So that comes down to about almost like $260 or $250 right there, depending on the yen, dollar to yen ratio. The yen is actually doing a little better within these last 2 weeks. So it went up from it's now went down to from 145 to 138, which is good for Japan. But for those of you who order from Japan, who've been hoping to get these 145 at that price point, yeah. I always say here, take advantage while you still can. 138 is still good, but hopefully we'll see the Japanese economy get better. Yeah, it's take advantage of it while you can. Even 138 or 145 or whatever it may be, that's still a good discount, considering that I just remembered it was not long ago when almost things were even. That 100 yen is pretty much, or actually 1,000 yen was like $10. That you were going to get, that it was almost equal. So every time I would go to Japan and I'd say, okay, I'll bring 500,000 yen, that's $5,000 US dollars. That it would be almost an equal rate. But now for those of you who are going to Japan, you're you're pretty much getting your money's worth. So let's go move to the second row here. I mean, not second row, but the second spot on the first row. That's the 5100 series A sheet, which will go about 18,700 yen for 4 cars. So, okay, I'm back. Got my glasses. So, one of the things that is kind of interesting is that it wasn't that long ago well, maybe within the past 5 years ago, having good eyesight for so many years of my life, I started to notice that certain things maybe like 10 or 15 feet away were not as clear as they used to be, and each year since then it's been progressively getting worse. I guess you could say, to put it bluntly, but I guess that comes with the territory of as you get older, your eyesight. Well, I don't know if that's true, but at the same time, I do notice that my eyesight is starting to dwindle, and probably, some of it is also due to lack of sleep. Usually, when I sleep well, I could see even better, and when I don't, I kind of could tell the difference. But anyway, the first one, let's going back to the green one now that I have my glasses on, that it reproduces the appearance with a cover of the front of the typhoon part of the train. Not sure what that means exactly. But yeah, so this is an old school Shinkansen, the 225100 series in the middle. The top car's full provision hood is operated, and there are 2 types included, one for the top. And let's see here. 12-car train can also be reproduced with the add-on. The add-on's an extra 4 cars for 10,340 yen. The third one, coming out in January, is the high grade of the Kiha 30 white and blue, and the Kiha 35, the Sagami line color. And this one reproduces the train with a square ventilator and a new roof. The 500 series reproduces a different ventilator and floor sewage tank from the 0 series. Nothing for December, so there are no December releases, so it's going to be November. And November, you have the high grade of the Series 475, the Hokuriku mainline in blue. And I'm not sure if we talked about that, but moving on to the second row middle, this is a January release, and this one is the E233 2000 series Joban line. So this one will come with 6 cars and will cost 24,420 yen. Oh yeah, by the way, the Hokuriku comes with 3 cars and it'll be 17,930 yen. So about $155 right there. The third part is quite massive, and that's coming out in October. So you get 2 islands and then you get the 2 tracks. That makes sense. That's actually pretty cool. This is the opposite flat platform set, which will go for 3520 yen. So that's not too bad. This is about $30 right here. But so you get the pillar, and I am looking at this, and it looks like, so you get the pillar, and is that it? I mean, is there anything, judging from the price, I don't know. They're talking about the pillars way in the right, but if that's the one just being sold, I mean, that's kind of expensive. That should go like $25, but it's hard to say. We'll just have to wait and see when it comes out and on Amazon. So we'll see when that time comes. The January 24th, we're on the first one on the third row. That's the EF65 2000 type. Revival the JNR colors. Always a popular one there. Comes with cooling ducts, 2 types. On its looking here, see if there's a price on it. I don't see it, but it does come with the plate parts of the EF65. So for those who are looking for the license plates, oh, here it is, 9,240 yen. Not bad. So you'll be paying about $85 for that. The next one is, this is a December release. I thought there were no December. It's like everything is all mixed up. You got January, November, January, October, January, December. Okay, so we do have December releases. The middle one is called the KO Rinkai Railway KD55 Type 103, and that will go for 85.80 yen. So the tax included, and that probably translates to maybe a $65 or $70 train on like Amazon. Third one will be the Tomy Haimo. Let's see, the Tomy Railway Haimo 330-703, and this will go for 8,800 yen, tax included. So that one will go about about $80 or so. And then, of course, you got some new sets coming out. You got the E25 235 series Yamanote. So they are releasing a Yamanote line of the JE235 series. And this one will go for 4 cars for 21,780 yen. So you'll get the same introductory set with the, I would assume the controller comes with it, a basic one, and this one has the oval A shape. And then you get the 2023 series E7 of the Kagaya. Was that Kagaya? Let's see here. Because it looks like the same one I have, but this is the 2023 U7, but I can't tell if it's the same one that I've owned already. This is a 2023 release, but I do also have the E235 release as well from a set. But again, that's KATO. This is the Fine Track E235. I do know that they released an E235 just this month from TOMIX. So anyway, and then you got to find a new Fine Track, and this one is Rail Pattern D. This one will be for 12,980 yen, about $120. So yes, TOMIX has quite a bit of releases. KATO, I didn't see. It's the same thing we discussed last time, but for TOMIX, looks like we kind of good. We kind of know what we're getting into for the months of November through January. So I think the two sets right there, the basic sets of the Yamanote line and the E7 Kagayaki, are pretty cool. Basic sets usually come with just the full. Well, it's actually a great deal because not only, before I say great deal, because they have some basic sets which you could get for pretty much like $50, or actually $35, depending on the dollar to yen ratio. But the thing is that the E235 with 4 trains is about 21,780, and that's quite a bit. That's about almost a little over $200. So for both of these, actually, for 4 trains, I expect them to go a little bit cheaper on Amazon, possibly around $100 to $150. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. But that major set right there, can't see. The box is a little too dark, but yeah. Solid release. And for me, the EF65 actually catches my eye. It's such a classic train, especially those colors. It's a classic freight train that you really can't go wrong with, and it has a JR logo right here on the side. This one's really interesting. The 185 series of let's see, the 1850. 1850. I need to look that up right here. 1850 Shinkansen. Okay, let's see here. Nope, I don't see anything. 1850 or 1850 Shinkansen. Okay. No, this is not the one I'm looking for. Here it goes. Okay, so it's a TOMIX 97958 JR Series 1850 Nostalgic Shinkansen Relay. So we're going to go ahead and look at this one for a bit. And here we go. The 185 series. Because it has that 1850 and it kind of threw me off, but the 185 was operated by JR Race and divided into two variants, 185-0. I don't see a dash in there, but this was used in the southwest of Tokyo, and 185-200 was used in north of Tokyo, and it was in service from 1981 to March 2021. The 185-0 was primarily intended to replace the aging 153 series EMUs used on the Izu Express trains from Tokyo to the Izu Peninsula. Let's see, looking here even more. When did they actually stop, if they did at all? Because I know the 200 series. Okay, the Shinkansen Relay. Here we go. So between June 23, 1982 and March 1985, the 185-200 series trains were used on a special Shinkansen Relay shuttle services. So this is what I need to discuss, what a Shinkansen Relay is. Shinkansen Relay was a train service operated by JNR from 1982 to 1985. When the Tohoku Shinkansen opened June 1982, the planned section between Ueno in Tokyo and Omiya was not complete. Wow, that's so long ago. Because I'm so used to going from Ueno to Omiya via Shinkansen. But I guess this is the early Shinkansen that people used at the time to get from Ueno to Omiya Station. It was a 7-car train, and the Shinkansen relay service ended on March 1985, the day before the Tohoku Shinkansen opened between Ueno and Omiya. So these were actually reassigned for use on other limited express services such as the Kusatsu. So this makes sense now. So now we know it was just a temporary relay train from Ueno to Omiya back in the early to mid 80s. So it makes sense. So with KATO and Hasegawa, there has been no new development since I last did the last podcast. So pretty much TOMIX has the major announcement with all the way up to January, but still let's go ahead and check out Takara Tomy's Plarail. Same company that makes the TOMIX stuff, but the difference is the TOMIX is of Engage, and this one Plarail deals with more of the plastic trains for much more affordable than your regular Engage train, and they run through plastic tracks on AA batteries. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this Spacia, the S36 Tobu Spacia X. What was interesting about this one is that usually there's a pre-release of this one, and when it comes to Spacia, they rarely go down in price, and usually it's because they work in conjunction with with the company of Tobu Railway, and Tobu Railway stuff tends to never go down in price. And in fact, this one was announced as a pre-release for like a day, and people pre-released it, and kind of some got really ticked off because they didn't get their products yet, and there was a major delay on it. And I'm not sure. Maybe it was just through Amazon. I don't know, but looking from what other people were saying online, that this one really was not showing up. Um, but it's now on sale on Amazon, so perhaps that means that they're ready to distribute it. Because I can tell you right now, going to June, this one right here, the S37 Osaka Metro, this one is not on sale right now. And the reason being is that when it was first released, it was supposed to have two blue doors to match the actual train, and um, it didn't. It came with only one green door. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh wow, those who were able to pre-purchase and get the first edition that was that had the error, you have a good solid collector's item." I don't know that for sure, um, but all I know, what I do know is that for those of you, I was one of the people who were supposed to get this one, and I canceled the order, and now I regret it. So I actually wanted this one, but I just kept on deciding. I'm like, man, I have so many Plarail already. But anyway, let's go back to the July releases. July releases, I think this one right here is going to be hot. So you want to get it while you can, because really, Spacia or Spacia tends to sell out quickly. Here, you definitely want to get the latest release of this. This I think it's translates to "Let's connect a lot, change the speed with rails." Shinkansen M700S. So this is the Shinkansen, and this time they're adding. What you're going to get here is that you're going to get 6 vehicles, 6-car trains, and also you are getting 2 blockheads. So let's see if that shows the photo. There we go. You get you get the conductor and then a regular person right there. And it runs through one AA battery. So this one is JR Takai approved and licensed by JR West. So right now it says 60-50 yen, but usually Amazon has it for 4,500. So you might want to get it right now while you have the discount. The other one is this one right here, and this one I did order. This is a collaboration with their Plarail and their Tomica line, and this features the EF65 1118 rainbow paint machine. This is a really cool train. May you get it on Plarail or Engage, but I like the fact that you can get these carts where you can put cars of that certain color, maybe green, maybe blue, yellow, red, and then you get the second train is a blue vehicle. You can see right there. Well, barely you can see it, but yeah, you get this, the ramen one of this collaboration between Marugame Seimen and Simon and Plarail, and this one is I believe you could get this one cheaper. Let me find out on Amazon right now, because usually Amazon gives you such a good discount on the price. And yep, this one is going for $42.32, so you can get a really good deal on this one. And it comes with the Udon Limited Express Sururi, which delivers udon. And I'm going to have to actually look at it to see if this is an actual... I mean, it could be wrong, but I could say that it was a train that was... okay, let's see here. So they call it the Udon Limited Express, but let's see here. If there was an actual train. Of course not. I was right. I just didn't want to sound stupid saying, "Oh yeah, there's no such a thing as an udon train." Next thing you know, there was. But I do know that in restaurants that are usually train based, a lot of restaurant owners use Plarail, and they love to purchase these type of vehicles because they like to deliver the meals via Plarail. You have this, and then the big old plate following it. So I think that's pretty cool. And then, of course, you got another Tomica collaboration right here with the Plarail and Tomica cars for the 5th anniversary. The Kankan Railroad Crossing DX sets. So, the DX version of the 5th anniversary features more scenes and more rails. This one's going to go for 7920 yen. Has more than 70 sounds. From, my goodness, that is a lot. How much... I'm kind of curious myself how much this costs on Amazon. Okay. By the way, before I say any further, getting Plarail in Japan is very cheap, but for some unfortunate reason, Amazon tends to jack up the prices for shipping of Plarail. And in the case of this one right here, this one you could get it, well, it's on sale, 64.80 yen from another seller. But let's go to that other one right here. Okay, so this one right here, as mentioned, you can get it cheaper at 42.32 yen, which is about $35 instead of paying 6,600 yen. But the shipping for this alone is 61.90. So it's about like $55 for shipping. And I can understand why Amazon does that. Overseas shipping, yeah, they're going to charge up the yin-yang for it. But usually for other things, I could order electronics, or I could actually order a train set, a basic train set, which is just even heavier, like with all the tracks and the trains and everything. And it never goes past 3,500 yen for shipping. But for Plarail only, I don't know why, but they just jack up the prices. And so what should you do if you really want it? If you really want it, then you'll have to make a massive order. Not purely massive, just a big order. So you get this along with other Plarails. And because how Amazon Japan works is that they do it in increments. So if you have like the 2 or 3, it's about, well, it goes up from like 2,000 yen, then the 2,500 yen, then the 3,200 yen, and so forth. The more items you apply, then it goes up. And I could tell you my most expensive shipping, because I was getting Plarail at one time, was like about 9,100 yen. So almost close to $85. And that was because of the Plarail that I was getting. They jacked up the prices, and I'm like, how am I going to make this worth my while? And so I ordered a good number of Plarail trains to go along with it, so I don't have to pay a lot, any more than what was set from that set, from that certain train set. But for this one, it's going to be 61.90. So if you want to add, if you're going to buy like 3 or 4 trains, or even add a Tomica or something, it makes it worthwhile. But yes, Plarail sets, Amazon Japan, and I'm sure that I think Takara Tomy is involved with that. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just Amazon that's doing it, but they really jack up the prices. Again, it doesn't make sense because you can buy sets for engaged trains from TOMIX or KATO, and the shipping will not change. It's 3,500 yen or less, whereas Plarail, sets usually cost up the yin-yang. So if you're thinking of getting, well, I want a set with the tracks, or I want this set, all I can say is go look into your local Amazon and see if you can get a better deal with the free shipping. But again, I can understand why this happens. It's because Plarail is popular, but Tomica is popular as well. They don't do that with Tomica, but they just do that with Plarail primarily. Okay, so before we end the episode, we're going to look at what is selling for trains for Yodobashi and big camera. And we're going to go with the train sets right now. So let's see what we have here in the ranking. Okay, here we go. So first place, we have the Hape E3762 Hape Shine with solar. So it's a wooden train set for kids. Second place is the Brio Japan Battery Power and Team Train. And then you got the die-cast metal trains of the Limited Express, the Huiten Bosch. This one tends to sell quickly. Sunrise Express, number 68, another train. Actually, the next one is also a die-cast metal of the Nankai Rapid. Sixth place right here is the Toiko Run Pen Train, and then seventh place you have the looks like the Dr. Yellow, and this is from Toiko. And the eighth place is the Toiko of the Hokuriku Shinkansen E7 series. But let's go ahead and get out of that. So that's that. But let's see what they have for Plarail. And it'll be interesting to see if they have a ranking for that. So let's go here real quick. Okay, there we go. So the popularity ranking for Yodobashi.com for the Plarail would be the S24 Panda Kuroshio Smile Adventure Train. Second place is the Type 923 Dr. Yellow set, the Plarail Basic Set. Third place is the Plarail, the ES10 Kintetsu Meihan Limited Express Hinotori. Fourth place is the Plarail S50 E531 Joban line. Fifth place is the Takara Tomy Plarail Gogo Thomas Plarail. Sixth place is a Gogo Thomas, another one. And then seventh place here we have the Plarail ES07 E235 series Yamanote line, with the eighth place being the S47 Hankyu Electric Railway 1000 series. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and check out what is first place on Big Camera. Okay, so for Big Camera, we have the Shinkaryon Z 500 Type EVA 02. That is so awesome. At number one, an NV Evangelion red robot and the train. That's just really awesome. I like that. Number two, you got the connecting parts. Third place, you have that fifth anniversary set. Fourth place, you have the set of the Hanzomon and Yorakucho line. Fifth place, you have the J14 block pier. Sixth place, you got the Plarail R03 curve. Seventh place, you have the SO7 Type 923 with light of the Dr. Yellow. The eighth, you got those spare tires, which are cheap, like $1 or so. Takara Tomy Plarail Thomas the Tank Gogo Thomas Neil. 10th place, you got the Gogo Thomas Diesel. 11th place, you got the boarding confirmation set, the Hayabusa E5, and then the 12th, you got the J03 Small Iron Bridge. 13th place, we have the Plarail R06 New Soccer Rail. 14th is the Plarail R10 U-Turn. 15th place, we have the R01. 16th place, we have the R20 1/4 straight rails. I do recommend these. They're really important. 17th, you got the double track curve rail of the R05. 18th is the Marugame Seimen Plarail. That's that Udon set. 19th, you got Percy. And 20th, you got Kana. So that rounds out of the Plarail top 20 of the Big Camera. Unfortunately, Big Camera does not do other trains. They just usually do Plarail. It's usually Tomica, Plarail, Legos, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Gunpla, and so forth. You know, let's do one reaction video before we end the series, before we end the episode. And this one we're gonna go Omo channel. or actually you could say Omochanurun. And this is his review of the Plarail Real Class. Now, when it comes to the Plarail Real Class, the romance car, as always, the romance car tends to sell quickly, and it's sold out on Amazon. The other green and white one you can still get at 5,200 yen. It was a good deal when it went down in price of about 4,800 yen, but they're back up to 5,200 yen right now. So let's check it out.
チャンネルです。さあ今回ね、はいこちら見ていきましょう。はい、こちら
So as you can
プラレ
see,
ーの
it
リア
comes
ル
with
ク
a
ラスに
different
なり
type of
ま
box.
す。先日ね紹
Since these
介
are
した
geared
一
for
般号
adults.
の踊り子に続いて今回はね小田急ロマンスカ3100型 NSE ですね。はい、今回こちらねちょっと見ていきたいと思いますが、いやもうこれのクオリティというかもう満足度がね半端なかったんで、今回もね本当期待しちゃってねおりますが、では行きましょうか。さあそれではもうパッケージからねざっくりでいきましょう。まずね正面、はい、こんな感じです。まあ今回ねもう踊り子と同じくね大きさですね。しっかりとねしたね、まあ A4 ぐらいの大きさのね、まあ表紙表面になっておりまして、これねロマンスカーの写真大きく載ってますね。でこの部分はクリアの窓が出てて車両が見えてます。こちら先頭車です。今回ね小田急ロマンスカー3100型 NSE ということで、まあ本当ねもう懐かしいというか、まあ僕はちょっと実際見たことないんですけど、もう本当いい車両だと聞いております。で箱のね側面ですが、はいこのようになっておりますね。まあすべてのね名前と車両がですねプリントで入ってます。はい、こんな感じですね。ここか。
Really nice box.
で、あと背面ですね。はい、こちらに細かい説明書いてます。ちょっと上からいきましょう。はい、まずセット内容ね、後でまあ細かく確認しますが、車両と、あ
Now
と
with Plarail and TOMIX boxes,
運
the
転席
things
と
is
ク
you
ーラ
can't
ーと
open
パン
them
タグラ
and
フ
put
が
them
それぞれ
back
ハイタイプとロータイプですね。この
So
よう
you
に
don't have to
2
trash
パターン選べ
the
る
box,
形と
and
なって
if
ます。
you plan to
いいです
do
ね。
resell, you still can.
なんかもうめちゃめちゃ好みに仕上
As
げ
you
る
can see here, it comes with these
直線レールは
tracks.
3本ついてるんで、曲線がねないので、このリアル
And
レール
they're the same
レイアウ
as
ト
the
作るには
Plarail
ちょっとまた
tracks,
別途
but
ね
they're
工夫していただく
actually
必要があり
different
ます。
size.
で、まあ箱の
As you
下
can
の
see
部
here,
分には
there's
細か
a
いね
the bottom
説明
picture.
が書いてま
They
して、
connect it
まあ
with
と
a
にかく
Plarail
今回も
track,
ね素敵な
so
もの
it
にな
is
ってるんで、
possible to
で、
connect
今回はね
Plarail
ロマンスカーの
and
説明書
Plarail
き
Real
下の部
Class
分に書いてます。
tracks.
気になる方はぜひ停
I
止ボ
just
タンを押して
wish
読んでみてく
Plarail
だ
in
さい。
general would have adopted these
1999
Plarail
年
Real
に会
Class
社
and
という
those
か運
tracks
行は終えてるんですね。
are readily available for people who would rather use those instead of the blue tracks. But it is what it is. You can order it from Takara Tomy's shop shop site,
いきましょ
but
うか。いや今回もめちゃめちゃ充実したねもう内容、そして走行などをこう楽しませてくれそうな。
I know that there's other companies that make tracks that I don't know if they
ちな
work
み
with
にね、
Plarail.
まあ小話なんですけど、ヨドバシさん
Especially from
本当の売り場ではね、こっちの方が数めっちゃ少なかったです。ロマンスカーの方が人気あるのかな。だから踊り子が、まあ、ちっちゃい子とかには人気がちょっといまいちなのかもしれませんね。そしてね、中身です。はい、こんな感じでね、上から4両入ってます。はい、こちらに車両が
Okay, so the
レール
top
とあとこの細かい
portions are not
運転
attached.
席パーツが入ってるんで、さあそれでは行きましょうか。
And
パーツもでも
I
本
guess
当
you
結
can
構
also
とりあえずここからちょっと見とこう。
add those.
ハイタイプ、ロータイプ、いろんなパターンをお見せしたいと思いますが、組み合わせはね、全パターンやると大変なので、ほどほどにさせていただきたいかなとは思いますが、よいしょ。結構本当、なんかパーツもリアル。
So let's see when he removes the
これ
train.
がまず
I'm
運
kind of
転席
curious
です。運
why.
転席の、これがハイタイプかな。ハイタイプの運転席ですね。前方と後方、ここの部分違うか、形一緒かなと思ったんですけど、形はね違います。ちゃんと作り分けられてますね。
I think for me, I was hoping that they would go down to 4,000 yen.
これはこれで正解なんかな。なんか穴は
I understand why they did it. You know, they are selling it at the price point as it is right now. It's about 40, about $45 US.
わかる感じですね。1両目とか4両目。
But I think for me, my sweet spot of getting it is 35 to 40 yen. You know, $40 US dollars, that is.
これも
Not
2両
yen,
目と
but
3両目という数字が書かれておりますので、はい、こんな感じのね、グレーの成形色ですが、
okay, you
しっか
can
りと
see
した
some of that
高さの
detail
ものに
already.
ハイ
But
タイプです。まず最初こちらの袋にハイタイプの、
let's see
パ
what
ーツ
happens when he
で
takes
こっち
out
にロータイ
the
プですね。これもまとまって入っていくようなんで、ちょっと出しておきましょう。踊り子の時にちょっと内側の数字とか全然見てなかったですけど、まあちゃんと本当分かるように書いてあるんで、 ですが、本当に細かくよくできているんじゃないかなと思います。プラレールでこんなにパーツ紹介をする日が来るとは思ってもいませんでした。まあこんな感じで不動君のねパーツはこのようになっておりまして、ではよいしょ、続いて車両行きましょうか。レールの方はね、個別で買った分今回使用させていただきますので、このままにしておきます。さあそれではやってまいりましょう。まず先頭車行きましょうかね。パーツつけてないからすごい寂しい状態ですね。ちょっと軽く見ておきましょうか。はい、まあ作りの細かさはね、よくわかると思うんですけども、はい、こちらまず先頭車です。パーツ装着する前はざっと、はい、こんな感じになっておりまして、
Usually with Plarail, there's no
一
detail
旦ロータイ
inside.
プ
It's just pretty
一
much
旦ね、一回ロータイプいきましょう。ロータイプを
a side where you put your battery in and everything, but usually they're just, you know.
はい、まあとりあえず完成ですが、ロータイプはね、やっぱね、ちょっとなんかこう、僕の
Granted,
中
you
で
could
は
put
物足
sometimes
り
they'll
な
have
さと
something
い
where
う
you
か
put a plot kit,
そうい
you
う
know,
ものを
Plarail
感じるん
kit.
ですけども、皆様的にはいかがですかね。やっぱ
I
欲
believe
しいです
this
ね。
one
せっか
lights
くなんで、
up.
もうめちゃめちゃリアルな感じ、欲しいかなと思います。
That's another benefit of Plarail Real
多分内側
Class.
から本来外しちゃう
There
方がいい
are
と思うんです。
interior lights
ここはない
included.
で、ハイ
So let's see
タイ
when he
プ
puts
を
the
つけ
battery
て
in
い
there.
こうかなと思うんですが、こっちか。こちらですね。ハイタイプの運転席周りのね、パーツをよいしょ、つけてあげると、おー、できました。おー、いいね、いいね、いいね。さあね、ちょっとじっくりと見ていきたいと思いますが、まずね、正面、はい、こんな感じになってます。
I can see now. Now you know why they removed it.
この部分はシ
Is
ールになって
because it
お
would
り
have
ます。
taken much more
ここの
box
レン
space.
ズとかはこれはクリアパ
So
ー
it's
ツです。
just
その周りはシー
easier
ル
for
の
them
こと
just to
そう
put
で
it
すね。
towards
本当に
those
あの
top
いい
parts
です
on the
ね。これ
bottom.
窓のとこもね、本当全部クリアパーツで、まあ1両目動力車なんで、ちょっと中はね、座席とかなくて、まあ、モーターやね、電池入れるところになるんですが、もう中が見えるっていうのが本当素敵ですね。で、運転席もね、ほら、ちゃんともうこのようにね、作られておりまして、存在感ですね。このなんとも言えない赤色とグレーのこのツートーンが、なんかしび
I'm
れま
really
す。
liking the
ね、うん。で、側面、横顔です
detail. Look at
ね。
the
はい。
bottom right there.
まし
That's
て
really nice.
前からね後ろにですねかけてこう赤とね白のラインが入っているとかっこいいね。でこの横
We're gonna go ahead
ね
and
前あたりのこの
forward a
顔
little
が
bit.
本
Let's
当
see
に
when he
男
puts
前
the
です。
batteries in there.
まあそうしっかりとねクリアパーツが、ね、
Okay,
装着さ
top
れてて
part
ね
comes out like a regular Plarail.
ライト付きのねシャーシ入れると多分全体的に光るんだと思うんですけど、ヘッドライトとかだけ光らそうと思ったらそれなりの加工が必要かなと思います。でボディカバーよしつけていきましょうか。よいしょ、ちょっとあまり無理ぞ。よいしょ、いけた。はい、OK。さあ、ネジも締めて
And like all Plarails, you
手
have
と、
to
は
use a
い、これで
screwdriver
OK
to
なの
screw
で
it
動
back
作チェック
in.
電源オン。はい、バッチリです。はい、ということでね、まずね、もう大満足ですね。そしてこのね、きっちりこう垣間見えるプラレール感がまたね、なんとも言えません。まず一つ目、先頭車でした。さあ、ではどんどん行きましょうか。続きまして、これ、こういう順番に入ってですね、次2両目入ってるかと思ったら、後備車なので、どうだ
Let's see here.
でもうバッチリです
Okay,
ね。
there's the seats right there.
なかなかね、こう座席が本当並んでるのが
So
素
that's a
敵です。
plus right there that they added the seats.
で上から見てみるとこうなってまして本当パンタグラフとねこのクーラーの存在感がすごいです。作りたくなるんですけども、いやでも4両でも本当ね十分だと思いますね。さあそれではね続いて走行の方もねちょっと見ていきたいと思いま
So
す。
there is some
さあで
detail.
はでは
There
ね
is
先
quite
ほ
a
ど
bit of
レイアウト
detail
を作りましたん
on the
で
Plarail
行き
Real
ましょ
Class,
う
but at the
か。
same time, it depends if you want to pay
では小田急ロマンスカー
$45 USD
おー
versus
ま
paying
た今
only
回
$10
も
for
う
Plarail.
すごいっすね。満足度半端ないもん。
So riding around the track really nice. I
い
do
い
like
です
it.
ね。こういう
Really, I would just use those tracks instead of
素
the
晴らしい
Plarail
総合
blues.
ですね。
They look much nicer. But I heard there was lighting. And was that the only degree now?
いやーロマンスカーも本当踊り子に負けず劣らず素晴らしい走行を見せてくれました。
Okay, so I was going through a few channels on YouTube with the Plarail, and I was wondering about the lights. And it seems that what people are doing is that they're getting their there are certain Plarail that do come with lights, and they're just taking it and adding it just the bottom chassis to the Plarail. I guess it fits perfectly. So if you do want lighting for the front, then you know that that will definitely work. So that's if you did purchase, if you own any Plarail that do light up. But I will say though that I do like the actual detail of the Plarail Royal Class. Whether or not I will pick one up, I don't know. As mentioned, there's one thing, if you want to buy an Engage, and if you want to spend over $50, you definitely want to go Engage. But Plarail, to me, these are fun. I love the trains. I have a big collection now. But I think with Plarail, the sweet part about purchasing a Plarail is that the prices are always going to be 1,600 yen, which in US dollars is just about $12 or so, or even a little over $10. And so that is the really sweet part of it, of knowing that you're not going to spend too much, and you know what you're going to get already. You know how they run. You know that they're pretty much reliable. No controllers, just requires a AA battery, and they're good to go. And they're not super detailed as the Plarail Royal Class, and that's why Plarail Royal Class does cost a little bit more, but you're paying almost 4 to 7 times the amount of a regular one. So, but I do know though that for collectors, I don't know if we will see any more. I don't know if Takara Tomy had a general interest of releasing more, or these is just like these two were just a test, a litmus test of whether or not they should even purchase this, or not purchase this, to sell this for people. I don't know. I really can't tell you, because again, if I'm going to spend $50 or so, I would rather buy an Engage train. Because TOMIX, there's some single trains that are sold for $65, so it's a tough one, man. It's really tough. I do like the detail and everything, but I think if it goes down on sale and they sell it for, let's say, 4,000 or even 3,500 yen, I'll definitely check it out. But if they keep it at 5,200 yen, probably not. It's just not, from the price point, anything over 5,000 yen for me, I would rather put that towards a Engage train. But again, it's totally up to you. I understand they're, right now it's almost like apples and oranges. They're trains, but the thing is that Engage trains require a power controller and a track, where these ones, you can actually put it on your floor and it'll run. Granted, it's good to have it the track so you can add those curves, but really, these vehicles are made for children to overcome any destruction, or people. You can see people who actually like to take their trains and build super high tracks, and if it falls, these things can still be used. Rarely, I mean, these things take a beating. Of course, they're not as powerful as the Casio G-Shock, but the thing is that these things are pretty much durable. Big piece of plastic, so. Yeah, so I think if anything, that is, this is actually a pretty solid release that we're seeing from other companies, as we now reach the second half of the year. A lot of the companies are now announcing their September to January releases, and you'll see a slowdown around that winter time. But again, the big deal right now is the Shikishima. If you can get that for the TOMIX, it's definitely worth getting. But there's a lot of other stuff coming out that's really worth checking out. But for now, I'll see you later, and you guys enjoy your trains, and just don't go overboard. Be cool, and just continue to enjoy it. I know that this is a hobby that can become very expensive. So just do what you can, and buy what you can within your budget. So just remember that. Just don't go overboard. Okay, everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, everyone, before we leave, I just want to give a plug for TOMIX's 98525 right here. This one's going on sale for 12,130 yen. That pretty much equates to about almost $100 or $105, but that's a pretty good price for 4 trains. They will be releasing a set, which will be a little bit more, but considering that I think for most people who own the Yamanote line, I think they pretty much, they're pretty much, are good to go with what they have. But just remember, while the E235s made its debut back in 2015, they were still using 231 and 233 cars. So the 235 is pretty much a newer version. It's the version they're using right now. I believe this one, according to the promo from TOMIX, that it reproduces the late model of the E235-0 series with thinner roof beads. The line color of the characteristic door part is reproduced by printing. The side glass reproduces the green glass. So that's going to be very interesting. Car numbers are printed, JR mark printed. Head and tail lights. Front display is equipped with constant lit board. Heads, tail lights, and front display are illuminated with white LEDs. Printed parts. Yamanote line installed on the front display. Equipped with a dummy coupler only on the cab side of the leading car. Powered with a flywheel. New power collection system, black wheels, and uses the M13 motor. So you are going to get the Kuha E235-45, Moha E235-134 that has the motor. Another one, the E234 134s, and the Kuha E234-45. Let's see if we can get a picture of that here. But there's a total of 3 that comes on the B set B expansion set. Set A comes with 4 trains. But yeah, if you want the full set that comes with the front and the back, that comes with the basic set, and then you get the motor car and just a regular train car. So it's pretty similar of what KATO released, but again, this is the late E235 series. So price is not too bad. I think right now is you can get it as a steel right now, pretty good. The expansion set is only $69.59, so that's actually pretty good. But yeah, that is the E235-0, the late model Yamanote line, which is out on July 30th. Anyway, everyone, you all take care, and I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.